Hello. Am I streaming? I do not know. I will just wait until the thing updates because I have it open on my phone. It's not updating yet. I have no idea how long the delay is. We shall see. Oh, yes, it's updated on my phone. I appear to be here. Hello. Say something in the chat if you're around so I know that this is working properly. And please let me know how loud I am and so on. Yeah, I'm here. I'm going to be playing some Thrive, which I made a video about a couple of days ago. This is just going to be a couple of hours of just some casual playing through the game. Hopefully relaxing. I see people saying stuff in the chat. Okay, so there's a decent delay, but at least people say things. People asking for volume up a little bit. Let's see whether that works. Right. Yeah, I'm here, going to be playing the game, answering some questions about the game or my channel or whatever. Yeah, let's see what happens. Maybe this will be uploaded to YouTube permanently after this, if it goes well. I'm entirely prepared for it to not go well. So yeah, let's have a go. Hopefully, yeah, game is happening. Right. I do have the chat open on my phone, so I'll hopefully be able to see people's questions. Someone's just wished me a good stream, so thank you for that. Is watching that video a prerequisite? I hope not, because I hope that I'm going to demonstrate how the game works as I'm going through it. So, yeah, but definitely watch that video anyway, because it expands a lot more on other things too. So yes, here we are. We have started a new game. This is us, a cell. Going round and round. And we can move the cell with WASD. One thing I did want to mention is I'm thinking of potentially making a mod for Thrive that changes the control scheme. That's the word. So that instead of pointing to the cursor and just moving with WASD relative to that, it's perhaps, I guess, more natural in that it's moving forward and then A and D would rotate and you move forward and backward. But I mean, I don't know whether that would work or not. It's just I kind of want to know whether it does. So I think that would help. Right, I'm in the game. Right. Oh, compounds, excellent. So we are this cell. We're going to move around this watery environment, collect some compounds to do some chemical processes with. As you see, I have this chemical process here, currently converting some stored glucose into ATP, which is our cell's energy. And yeah, so I'm currently running out of glucose because I'm just existing right now. So I need to find some more glucose to turn it into ATP, which will help me stay alive and move about. Luckily, there's a big pile of it here. It's this white cloud. So let's move over it. And you'll notice glucose is going up. Right now, I'm a very small cell. I have very little storage, so it goes up rather quickly. Right. So yeah, I've got some glucose now. I need to find some ammonia and phosphate. These are these two compounds. They also appear in this display over here. And those will allow me to reproduce and evolve, so that's quite important. Right, so here's a big pool of phosphate. I'm going to normal that up. Very nice. Lots of compounds. And then I'm going to move over here and get some ammonia because it's the orange one. Oh, and there's a couple of me's going past. That's very nice. Right, so now I've collected enough compounds. You will have seen this display filled up a moment ago. Collected enough of ammonia and phosphate to reproduce. So I'm going to do that and enter the editor. And take a look at what people are saying in the meantime. Nice, someone discovered the game from me, bought the game. Excellent, that's kind of the point. I'm trying to promote the game to get people to either buy it or join the community or join the development team, all of which can be very helpful. Someone says the fluid simulation for the compounds feels quite weird. Possibly. I mean, it's probably... I did look into this a long time ago, but it's probably changed quite a bit since then. But it's probably very hard to create any kind of realistic compound simulation that doesn't completely tank the computer at this point. But what do I know? Anyway, we are now in the editor. This shows us some statistics about the planet, but right now it's all pretty blank because we've only just started the game. You can see there's our species, Primum Thrivium, Primum Thrivium. I don't know how to say that. So that's us. There's 866 of us. That's pretty cool. We've got some physical conditions of the world. Nothing very interesting going on because it's literally just us at the moment. But that will change because hopefully we're going to get some pretty cool cells in the environment and I can show them all off and convince you that Thrive is cool, even though someone's been saying thriving is cool in the chat for quite a while now. So yes, I agree. Right. And now I need to select a patch. So currently, I should say a patch is a region with some environmental conditions. So there's this one, which we're currently at. This is the hydrothermal vents. You'll see they're very hot, very dark, lots of pressure, and a certain amount of compounds. And then if I select this one, for instance, you'll see it's much colder, has less of some compounds and more of others. Others have different levels of environmental compounds relative to where we are. It's important to note what these are when you're moving into that patch for the first time, because you might want to exploit new compounds that are there, or perhaps you've built your metabolism on using some particular compounds that aren't going to be there or will be there less abundantly. So yeah, that's just something to bear in mind. I'm going to stay where I am for now just because I think that's the best way of getting lots of cells to fill up the environment and create some cool stuff. So yeah, I'll stay in the hydrothermal vents and smeltle the meltle. Right, this is the main bit of the editor, what you would actually call the editor. This is us. We're just a blob of cytoplasm. If I switch to the membrane tab, it creates the membrane around that. So what you can do is you can add various things to your cell. So right now I can add some cytoplasm. I can do that and create more of a blob, and then that will auto-update the membrane. We've also got lots of other things which are different types of organelles. These are microbial organs. They do various cool things, convert some compounds into other compounds, or give you extra special abilities. Right now, for the fun of it, I'm going to add a spike, because this stream would be no fun if I was just sitting there doing nothing rather than stabbing some other cells to death. A couple of questions in the chat. Someone asked, how do you think the game would work with multiplayer? I mean, I've maintained for a while I don't think it would work as a whole game with multiplayer, because you would have different people being at different stages evolutionarily, and the increased complexity of the later stages would mean that you would end up with just an incredible amount to have to transfer between players, and it's probably... I don't know. I would imagine that's really quite difficult. But I have wondered for a while, like, if you just had the microbe stage alone, could you do some kind of multiplayer with that? Possibly. I don't know. I wouldn't say that's out of the question. One thing you can do that's already kind of fake multiplayer, I guess, is you can send save files to each other and kind of say, okay, I challenge you to survive in this save. So that would be quite fun. That's something you can already do. But there were a couple of others. Could duplicate patches separated by different patches work? I think the plan is to eventually dynamically generate the patch map. So right now, every game you play, it's just going to be this, because this is what was created, hard-coded by the devs. But the plan is to have some kind of planet generation that creates an entire sprawling web of patches of different types, many of which would be duplicates, but they'd have different cells in by the end of the game. So they wouldn't. They would be very different, really. But yeah, I am going to... So, yes. Now that I've added this spike, apparently spikes take a lot of energy to maintain. So this display over here says how much energy I produce and how much energy I am consuming. So currently this blob of cytoplasm is just producing 3 ATP on its own, but I'm using 2 ATP for osmoregulation. That's the keeping yourself together and not dying part of surviving, I guess. And I'm using 2 ATP to move. So I'm using more ATP than I'm producing, which means if I leave the editor now, I'm going to die pretty quickly. So what I want to do is I will add... What will I add? I'll add a metabolosome. This is going to turn glucose into ATP, but at a much more efficient rate than... I don't know, is it much more efficient? Yeah, a bit more efficient, yeah. I suppose... I don't know. I don't want to do the maths right now. But yeah, it's going to turn glucose into ATP, so I can do more of that and keep surviving. Oh, and I need to think of a name, but I think it's... I'll wait for some people in the chat to suggest a name. Yeah, right. I'll add another blob of cytoplasm. Why not? Right. That's me evolved. Let's go back into the world, and you'll see there's another of me because that was the part that split off from me before. So I'm running out of glucose right now. I need to find some or I will die. Yeah, I've just run out of glucose. So my health is decreasing, and once it decreases to 0, I will explode. Oh boy. Any glucose? Any white clouds anywhere here? I don't think so. Well, that went well. Okay, so there we get some glucose straight away. But it doesn't matter because when you die, you switch to a different member of your species which has a full glucose store. Unless you die so much that you make your entire species extinct, in which case you can't switch to anyone else because they're all dead. Right, yeah, that was that. Let's collect some more phosphate around here. So this meter is slowly filling up. It's only slowly because there's not a lot of it going on around here. But I can collect some more. And you see when I get into the brighter clouds over here, there's more of it here. And yeah, lots of compounds around here. It's quite nice. Get some more ammonia if I go this way. And you'll notice I've now got 2 spikes, because as I collect these compounds, the cell is using them to build more parts, duplicating all its parts so it can split in 2, and then the other half gets half of the resources I had before. Come on, nearly there. Maybe there's more over here. There we go. Ah, lovely. And you'll, yeah, importantly, splitting when... Oh, I'm just going to pause the game so I can explain this before I die. So yeah, once you've collected enough compounds to reproduce, you'll have duplicated your cell's size. And that means that you have double the storage. And the important thing with double the storage is it means you can stock up on resources for the next generation after this one as well. Someone's asking, is the music playing now something I composed? I think the track that's playing now is was by one of the other composers, but that most of the game, most of the music in the game, I think like maybe 3/4 of it is mine. So yeah. Right, I'm going to unpause the game and then immediately evolve because I'm going to die otherwise. Glucose. So yeah, you will see my species population has gone down a fair bit. It's not cause for concern just yet, because I think that was entirely due to me dying as an individual. Let's look at the timeline. So yeah, the glucose is going down in this patch. I believe that's kind of like a balancing thing. Like, as you progress, the amount of glucose goes down to make it harder to stay alive purely from gathering environmental compounds. You need to adopt new strategies at that point, like predating on others or becoming a plant. But we can't do that right here because we're still at the bottom of the ocean. Someone says I have a very lovely voice. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm going to stay where I am. Again, as I said, I'm waiting for some more species to appear. It's still just us. Or I could go there, actually, because there's two other species. Two very similar ones. Axanthiss pregar. Axanthiss progar. Pregar and progar. Nice. I'm going to move there. Just so I can see some other cells, and that will be fun. What resources do we have here? No hydrogen sulfide, but a fair amount of iron still, but not as much as we had. Might still be a good idea to add some rustus iron in to do some iron stuff. Someone says, this is giving me an urge to play Thrive. Good. The propaganda is working. Right, so I've added some iron things. So providing I can find some iron in the environment, that's going to keep me topped up with energy a bit more. Someone said... yes, of course. This will be called the Seismosaurus of Doom. There we go, that's deep lore right there. I'm going to change some membrane things. I'm going to change the colour. What colour will I be? Well, I'm going to be a predator, so I want something bright and angry. So maybe like a pinky red. Yeah, that'll be right. I will continue on with this one. So we're going to be moving to a new patch, so the environment will change. And we'll get different resources. And hopefully some other cells to interact with and eat. So, let's go. You are definitely one of the top 10 Thrive YouTubers, someone says. Oh, I forgot. I didn't have any glucose. Whoops. I don't know whether I'm going to find any. Oh, no. Yeah, at this point I just can't, I don't want to bother to wait, so I just press this button. And switch to a new one who hopefully has more resources around. Yay! And look, we have a full tank of glucose and a full tank of iron, but we've lost all of the ammonia and phosphate. That's how it works when you die. So the resources you use to produce energy, I'm not going to pause the game again. The resources you use to produce energy, you get them fully topped off in your new individual, but those that you need to reproduce are taken away completely. So if we had the ability to turn hydrogen sulfide into things, that would have been fully filled up as well. But yes. Someone asked, what does fluidity and rigidity do? Well, for one thing, they have a visual impact, and the membrane around the cell will it will be more wobbly if you slide it further towards the fluidity bit. But they also, more fluidity gives you extra speed, and more rigidity gives you extra health, and vice versa. So yeah, those are pretty important things to consider. I will decide what I do with those as I go on, because I don't know whether I'll be in greater need of health or speed as we go on. Anyway, oh look, there's another me going past. There's a big ball of compounds over here. That'll be nice. Although it wasn't as much as I was hoping for. That's a bit more. That will do me. Someone says, how does the iron work? Is it exclusive against the hydrochloride protein? Assuming you mean hydrogen sulfide. No, you can have both. There's nothing stopping you having both, and often it's useful to have more than one energy source. Otherwise, you're quite vulnerable if you end up without that energy source for a while. Is there some glucose up here? Please tell me that some of this is glucose. But yeah, the iron you'll see is going down. That's being turned into ATP, but much slower than I was turning glucose into ATP. So hold on, I'll go to the editor and show you what that means. So this bar shows you how much ATP you're producing. This shows how much you're consuming. But it's assuming you've got all the compounds you need in order to produce that ATP. So if, for instance, I ran out completely of glucose and only had iron, then I would only have these two bars here, not the one in the middle that's from the metabolosomes. So you can imagine like this bar here would be shoved onto this one and I'd only be producing, what was that, 10 plus 16 ATP and using up 12. So I would still survive in that scenario as long as I still had iron. But oftentimes you'll end up with a creature that if you lose one of your energy sources, it can't sustain itself anymore and you'll die. So that can be quite unintuitive, which is why I've decided to explain it now. Right. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Anything? I think I need a chemoreceptor because I kept running out of glucose, and the chemoreceptor will show me where compounds are. So I'm going to stick that there, and then right-click and modify. So this is the first organelle in the game that you can modify. The plan is to have several others. I'm not entirely sure what those will be, but that would be quite cool. So this was entirely new in the latest release. So yes, I want to find glucose. I want to find it everywhere. I tend to put the minimum distance slightly up, otherwise it tends to detect like tiny amounts of glucose that are no use to you. So yeah, this way it will only detect a decent amount of glucose that will actually be enough to keep me alive. We're going to make the line color white. There we go. Iron does seem good at the moment. I do have enough for another iron thing, so I'll do that. And hopefully that will help me survive. Right, the Seismosaurus of Doom continues. Oh, I forgot about the behavior editor. So at the moment, changing all this doesn't cost any mutation points, mostly because the sliders that do cost mutation points are a bit bugged. Don't ignore that. But yeah, in future these will cost mutation points because these go towards the success of other members of your species. So although this doesn't affect the player cell at all, what it will do is it will change how other members of my species behave, hence behavior editor. So since I want to be a predator, they will be quite aggressive, I would say. I'm going to put them out of the middle of cautious and opportunistic. Pretty brave, I would say. I'm still not entirely sure of what the difference between these two is. So I'll just put that in the middle as well. They probably need to be quite active as a predator. I'll put them in the middle of responsive and focused. Someone in the chat keeps saying that they showed their brother thrive. Good. The more the merrier. Show it to everyone. It must be spread around. Anyway, let's continue. Hopefully we'll be able to find glucose now with the aid of this chemoreceptor. And apparently there's... Oh, there we go. Yay, see? This is the line. It's telling me where the nearest patch of decently sized glucose is. Which I need right now, because I'm on the verge of dying, although iron is just about keeping me alive, but I'm almost running out of that too. Come on, nearly there. There we go. There we go. Topped up a full tank of glucose. That's helpful. Oh, and there's some iron here as well. Let's get some of that. so I can survive off both. I was really hoping to find some other species in here, but I guess we haven't gone around that long. There's another one of me. Let's get some more phosphates. Go through the glucose. Through some more phosphate. Oh, and you'll find floating organelles out here in the environment. Right, I guess this is an opportunity to show you. If you press G, you enter engulf mode, and you can swallow things smaller than you that you swim over, such as this organelle, which contained... I didn't actually know what it contained because I wasn't watching the bars at the side. But they usually contain a fair amount of compounds, so that's quite nice. You can also use that against prey, if I were to find any. I'm hoping I find some. But right now I'm just collecting more ammonia, and I need some more phosphate. Lots of compounds around here. I saw someone said in the chat, like, category theory. My category theory video has many times more views than most of my other videos. Yeah, weird. Creating a thumbnail that's just a picture of a coconut and the word nut. The algorithm likes it, apparently. I didn't do that to appease the algorithm. I did that just because I thought it was funny. Yeah. Right. Let's see how species are doing in this patch. So this one is us, the Seismosaurus of Doom. There's still only a few of us, but we're actually doing better than the other species in this patch. That may be why I saw none of them. They all went extinct. Bye, Progar and Prygar. Yeah, so that one did well initially, and then went extinct as it was outcompeted, potentially. I don't know. It's difficult to see. Difficult to say. By this one. That then went extinct as I appeared. Oh well. So yeah, that's just us in this patch again. Oh. Species are spreading around though. Slowly. We should have some more soon. I'm quite happy with this cell design for the moment. Sometimes the best mutation is to make no mutation. So actually, I will change the membrane. I'm going to slide it slightly to more towards being more fluid, because that way I will be faster. So you'll see the speed goes up as I slide that. But my health goes down. Right, let's continue and hopefully find some cells I can spike to death. I'm not a psychopath, I promise. Right. Yes, you can indeed become a diatom. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah. The ones with silica membranes. So yeah, I'm going to be aiming for the predatory lifestyle, I feel, but being a plant has lots of cool options too, although maybe not the most interesting gameplay at the moment, but that can be fixed. Yeah, I'm just going to swim around for a bit more. Not really more to say on that. Collect some more phosphate, hopefully. Yeah, let's go over here. There we go. I have become a bigger blob. I'll also collect some more glucose and ammonia. I feel like I'm actually quite slow. Maybe I need to add a flagellum. That's the word. Right. Ah, we do have some more species in the patch, do we? This one came back. It came back. It went into another patch and then it returned to this one. Amazing. And we've got some others. We've got one that's speciated off of us, called Seismosaurus presta. Seismosaurus is an actual species name, but I just realised. I think that was all of them. Yeah. So yes, I want to add a flagellum. And hope that I have enough energy to sustain it. I do for now, but I'm worried that if I run out of either one of these energy sources, I am going to die. So I should probably buff one of them a bit. Let's go with that. Someone asked, what are the plans if the player becomes a plant and not an animal? So there have been lots of discussions about this over the years. Some people thought it would be interesting to try a different type of game style, like maybe it's more management focused than, I don't know, I guess, I want to say RPG style, but that's probably not at all correct. But the kind of moving around in the world as the species, it's more about managing your resources a bit more. It'll be difficult to make that engaging though, so who knows? But that's in the future. That's not to be worried about right now, for the most part. Right. So yes, hopefully now. Yeah, see, I'm faster now. I have a flagellum. I'm also using up glucose much faster. Oh no. I need to find some things to hunt. The whole point of this is that I hunt other things rather than collecting these resources myself. Okay, there's some glucose over here. There we go. Found some. Is that another species? It is. Come here. I need to eat you. I'm slowly dying currently, but it's fine because I'm about to go through this puddle of glucose. Oh no, he's got toxins. Oh god. Right. Die. There we go. Got him. And now I can engulf all of his bits. And that's lovely. I've never seen them evolve toxins this early. That's quite concerning. Hold on, I'm going to try and sneak up on this one. Oh god, those have toxins as well. Run. See, there we go. Now we've got some species arriving. This one's just too fast though. Oh, I think that's got a different type of membrane. That's cool. Let me eat you. No. I need to evolve. Right. Yeah, okay, I think that was working quite well. It's just other species have suddenly evolved to be quite nasty. Interesting. Yeah, we've got these two back. They're just existing. Seismosaura presta. Squahator racanus. It's quite... I do like the name generation in this. I'm quite impressed with it. Even though it does pronounce some things that are completely unpronounceable, but they look pretty normal. Right. I might add another flagellum. Just so I can be speedier. Actually, this is a question. I don't actually know this. So if I put it there, my size increases to 11. If I put it here, my size also increases to 11, but my speed is faster. Because it's calculated, so you see this is 61, whereas here it's 57. So I guess it calculates it relative to the distance to the center of your cell as kind of a moment it's applying. So if I put it here, it's actually even faster. Okay, I'll put it there then. Nice. Someone's asked a question. Does the area of detection of the chemoreceptor have an effect on the ATP consumption? I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. That may be something that could be changed in future though to create a trade-off. But yeah, right now you can put it at the max and there's no penalty for it. So I'm not sure why you'd put it any lower than that. Really. Yeah, that's... Oh, I'm only just breaking even on my compounds, actually. Maybe I should add something else. Some more metabolosomes. Slightly better. Yes, I need glucose very quickly. Point me to the glucose. I'm dying. Oh no. But if I stop moving, you'll notice my health goes back up because I have enough iron to keep me alive if I don't move. But if I do move, I'm using up ATP too quickly for the iron to produce enough ATP for it. Ah, lots of things over here, but I think they're all me. And they took all of the glucose. Great. I can just stay here and collect iron and wait for my health to come back. I'll do that for a moment. But yeah, without glucose, I currently can't. I can't go fast enough to catch anything. It's a very interesting. It's quite management style, this game. I'd like that about it. I think that's what makes it unique relative to other games like it, including Spore. Let's just sit here, wait for the health to come back, and then go again. Oh, there's some things. Are those ones me? Those aren't me. I can eat them, as long as they don't toxin me to death. Oh. Whoops. He spiked me to death instead. God, they've evolved toxins and spikes already. That's quite rare. Oh. There's some glucose. Let's try and engulf this. What does it give me? A bit of ammonia and phosphate. That's quite nice. The white cloud, someone's asked, is glucose. Unless you're referring to the thing that was white, the white blob that they were these cells were chasing before, in which case that was a floating nucleus that was in the environment, which doesn't make a lot of sense because I was the first creature on this planet and I didn't have a nucleus, and nothing has yet. There we go. You get some quite cool cellular jousting happening, even if that's not entirely realistic, I don't think. Oh, that didn't go well. Whoa, look at all those! That's a lot. Wow, can I catch any of them? I think I am slightly faster than them, so... Ah, come here. Stop running away. Hey, there we go. Did he actually have any compounds of use, though? Oh no, he had some. That's nice. Let's get some phosphate. Actually, wait, there's a massive pool of glucose over here. Why don't I use that? Someone asks, can you consume your own kind? Not currently, no. There have been debates about it and inside jokes about it. But yeah, in the game at the moment you cannot attack your own kind. I don't know whether you're able to do it with toxins, actually. I never tried that. But yeah, spikes definitely don't work and you definitely can't engulf. Let's go after this one. Oh no, see, this is something you have to consider. I'm going to pause it again. Because I've collected lots of ammonia and phosphate, I've duplicated lots of my parts, but that means I'm now heavier, so I'm slower. Right? So before I could catch these guys, because I had enough speed for it. But right now, because I'm heavier, I don't have the speed for it anymore. So I need to collect enough phosphate and ammonia to duplicate these two flagella, in which case I should be back to about the same speed. Yes, let's continue. Helpful tips. No, is that one of me? That's not one of me. I can kill that one. Unless he gets there first. No, it's mine. Oh. He took all of the things. Let's collect some more of these things and hopefully duplicate these flagella so I can use the full speed, and I've run out of glucose. Great. I think I need to increase my iron consumption. Yes, here's some glucose. That should hopefully keep me alive for a bit longer. That's a lot of glucose actually, wow. And a lot of phosphate too. Can I chase after you? No, still too fast. I'm gonna get some iron here though. I could probably get you though. There we go, that was lots of nice compounds. Oh, and just a horde. A horde of my species coming after that. Amazing. But yes, I'm going to evolve now, since I've stored up lots of extra compounds, which is good. So yeah, lots of species in the patch now. Well, that one went extinct. I think that was the one I hunted, so that might be my fault. But yeah, this is the readout of the auto-evo results. I will be honest, I don't really know how to interpret them. Well, no, I guess it's fairly self-explanatory, but it's just there's quite a lot to take in with them. But yeah, you'll see, so my species, Seismosaurus of Doom, it's in 2 different patches currently. It's in the vents and the seafloor. I think I'm in the seafloor, right? Yeah, so this is where I am, and there's my species, and it's also in this patch over here. And then you can see lots of different stats about all the other things. Some species, so my species obviously is the one that is first in the list, and then there's other ones. So this one split off from a different species, and you'll see that the randomly generated names, yeah, because it's split off, it's kept the first part, but changed the second one. Other ones, yeah, so this one mutated, so all of the members of the species will now have a different thing. And it went extinct somewhere. So it's some interesting readouts. It's just difficult to know what to do with them, really. Whoa, what's happened here? Has everyone else gone extinct? Oh, that's because I selected that one. God. I didn't realise it did that actually. That's quite. Ah. So I don't know. I don't know enough about this game. Someone's asked, does Thrive have my music and are the aliens randomly generated? Yeah, most of the music in the game at the moment, I'd say about 3/4 is mine. But there's some very good tracks from some other composers in there too. And the aliens, or other cells, they are randomly generated, but they're generated according to the auto-evo algorithm, which is what this is all about. So at the start of the game, I was the only species, but they've slowly mutated and speciated off from me as we've gone on. What does temperature or pressure do in the patches? Someone's asked. Nothing currently, although in future there may be things that do use it. So where is it? Here we've got the thermoplast, which is not actually a real thing, but we're including some things that may be slightly not quite real, and the intention is to have a switch in the options to turn on or off life as we know it, or LAWK. So you can say I want to include only Lork things, and then you wouldn't be able to have thermoplasts, and the other species wouldn't have thermoplasts. But if you unselected it, then you could add them, and then that would act as a chloroplast but for heat. So in that case, the amount of heat in the patches would actually make a difference. But that's currently not in the game. This is just a placeholder icon for now. And pressure, I don't know what pressure could affect. Maybe something about the size, but as you'll see, it's currently the same in every single every single patch. So it's not that relevant. Right, what do I want to do here? I was struggling for iron, wasn't I? I'm going to add some more of that. Let's go for 2 of those. I mean, a double membrane could be pretty good. I've just used up too many mutation points to add it. Yes, a couple more questions. How does speciation and predation work? It's a bit obscured. I don't think anyone really knows entirely how it works because the people who wrote the algorithms are no longer on the team. But I gave a kind of an overview of it in the main video, so if you go and watch that, you will find out. But I don't know the specifics of how the game calculates which species are preying on which, and which need to speciate and change to different versions. Right, that's me done in the editor for now. Let's continue. Oh, that guy looks... Yes, but he has the same idea. Let's eat up all of this. Yeah, I do enjoy just watching the cells that the environment comes up with and how they interact. That's the main fun of Thrive for me. So already we've got a very colourful typal. I like that. Oh, and this guy's stuck. Oh, poor you. Oh, he got away. I did my villain monologue and he got away. Oh well. Let's just pick up... Actually, why am I doing that? The chemoreceptor's pointing over here, so there's a bigger blob of glucose over here. There we go, that's quite a... That's, well, a tiny bit more. But I'm currently getting lots of iron, so that's helpful. Oh, there's some guy shooting toxins over here. Ah, run away. That's quite scary. Nope, he's too fast. Excellent. I need to make this guy chase me until he runs out of toxins. That's the strategy. Oh, that didn't work. Right, and now I can chase after him because he's out of toxins, so I can kill him. Aha! Big brain time. Excellent. Oh god. I'm regretting making these all very opportunistic and brave, because they just keep coming after every single thing I kill. It's funny. And they're going after all the glucose over here. I'm going to scoop up some of that for myself, though. Oh, they took most of it. My species are too good. They're playing better than I am. That's quite funny. Look at all this. Look at this ecosystem. Isn't that fun? Oh, there's a species that went extinct everywhere. That's quite sad. I've got this timeline going on. So you see, the editor session is a 100 million year increment in game. So we started off. I don't know where we start off at. No, I suppose, yeah. So the first time I saw this was after I entered the editor for the first time. So 100 billion years passed in that editor session. And then 200 and so on. Right. Got lots of species here now. Let's see if I was going to say I could move up there, but look at the iron. So much less iron. Right, I'm going to add a double membrane. So that changes the shader that's being used on the cell here. Actually, I'm going to demonstrate some of the others. So silica, that's probably the coolest. I mean, look at that. Chitin, looks very sturdy. Calcium carbonate. And cellulose, if you want to be a plant. But I'm going to get a double membrane, which makes me faster. Hold on, what did it do? Oh wait, no. Well, I thought that made me faster. That just gives me more health. Why would I want that? I want to be a speedy predator. I don't care about health. Yeah, okay. I won't bother getting a double member in that. I thought that made me faster, but I'm wrong. Oh well. None of the others make me faster. I'll just use that. Slide that a bit further up. Are there any changes I need to make to this cell? I don't think so. Let's keep going. Oh. I'm out of glucose. And I still... my iron is still not fast enough. Okay. I regret not adding more rusticine in. Yes, iron is still not fast enough to keep me alive. God, look at all this. Look at these cells. They're everywhere. Come on, glucose. There we go. That wasn't enough. I'm dying again. More glucose. No, don't take my glucose. No. God, my species are everywhere. They're too successful. I'm too good at this game. I'm suffering from success right now. I'm going to go here, collect some phosphate on the way. And get some more glucose. I need more ammonia and phosphate. Because I want to add more iron stuff. So I can actually... Because look, I've still got full iron storage, basically. Like, I'm using it up, but there's enough iron around that I can get it back immediately. But it's just not fast. It's not creating ATP fast enough to keep me alive when I move. So I just need to use it up faster, which means I need more of the organelle that does stuff with iron, which is rusticine. Can I absorb this? There we go, that helped. That had some glucose in it. That's much better. They're still after that. They're not big enough to consume it though. Because a glucose... A nucleus... I was big enough though. Or unless it just disappeared on its own. It's not entirely clear all the time. Stop running into me. Die. Yeah. This one keeps turning. It's quite funny. Haha, as you grow you get slower and I catch up. There we go. Got him. Actually, hold on. I just need a bit more phosphate. I'll be able to evolve. There we go. Oh, lots of phosphate over here. I will bag some for later. There we go. And I will evolve. How are things doing? We got some more species migrating into this patch from elsewhere. That's quite cool. Yeah, I wanted more iron stuff. I always want more iron stuff. That's the issue. It's just not fast enough on its own. So what's that? We've got 35 plus 6, 41 if I run out of glucose. So compared to 46, it's still not enough. This is the trouble with iron. It's like, it's quite efficient, but it's really slow. So it's difficult to power your entire cell with iron alone. Ensign says hi. Hello. Yes. What can I do? I could add some toxins. I could... Oh, no. Wait, I don't know the mutation points. What am I talking about? Anyway, let's continue. Hopefully not die from lack of glucose again. Top up my iron a bit. But I've got the chemoreceptor to point me to the glucose, so it's not the end of the world. And I can also kill things if they're slow enough. It's too fast. There really wasn't a lot of glucose there. feel like I'm going to die again. Oh, look at these guys. God, there's lots of them. They're all just single hexes. Differently coloured single hexes. Ah, right. I have enough iron to not lose health. Oh, I can convert iron to ATP fast enough to not lose health. That's quite good. But I am moving slower. So I'm just on the threshold. There's a bit of glucose here. Let's try and absorb this. There we go, that's quite a bit more. Ensign wants me to publicly state that rolling is the superior form of locomotion for animals. I don't know whether I can vouch for that, but sure. Yeah, wheeled organisms. The true form. This is another Thrive adjacent inside joke, I guess. Yeah, wheeled organisms. Oh, look, it's a chloroplast. Can I catch this one? If it keeps swimming towards me, I can. There we go. Same for this one. Oh, okay. Now I've got the opposite problem. So I'm full of glucose, but I'm out of iron. So I'm still running out of ATP when I move, but it's not a big enough problem to cause me to lose health yet. This is some strange formations. I feel like we've hit an edge. Yeah, we're just... Everything's too fast to catch. It's really annoying. We're not an effective enough predator. Some more glucose. Someone's suggesting I should lower the sensitivity of the chemoreceptor. I guess I've already done that, but I guess I could do that again. Because that was not a lot of glucose there. I only want it to show me to the big blobs. Right. God, all of this biodiversity happening. All of these species that have lived and died and migrated into this patch. So these two appeared and then went extinct immediately. They did not have a good time. I feel like I should start moving at some point. The trouble is I'm now quite dependent on iron, so moving to somewhere with less iron is maybe not the best idea. But I do want to show off more patches. I definitely can't move to this one because it's got 0. I'm going to move to this one. Why not? Have a bit of a change of scenery. I did need more metabolosomes though. So I'll add that one. Anything else I want to change? I might move them more towards cautious, just so they stop getting in my way. I am going to try and work my way towards a nucleus, but we're not there yet. I need to be a bit more sustainable before then. Oh, I forgot to update to increase the chemoreceptor. Or decrease its sensitivity. Right, so now we're in a new patch with hopefully some other species, although right now we've got these guys again. But I don't have enough resources to be fast enough to chase them. So that's an issue. Oh, a seam. Oh, look at all these. These should be easy to catch. That was nice. So we're an invasive species now, basically. Someone's asking what's my favourite video that I've made. I mean, the answer probably changes quite a lot, but one that is perhaps underappreciated that I like a lot was I made a video, which was just a joke video that I made literally in like a day. But it turned out really nicely. So go and check that out if you haven't. Right. Where were those species? Those green ones. They were very easy to catch and nutritious. I want more of them. Can I absorb this nucleus? I can. Maybe. It's not entirely clear. Die. One of you has to die. No, come on. I think the behaviour on this one must be that it's incredibly responsive. So it keeps changing what it's pointing at, which means it's turning backwards and into my spike, which is quite helpful. I might gather some more of these bits around here. One thing I could do now, since I'm planning to move up into patches with light, is get rid of some of my iron stuff, maybe? Oh, I didn't realise how little glucose there was in this patch. Wow. Oh, it's more than there was below. But yeah, I'm going to move up here. There's a bit more iron here actually, so we should be alright for now. And we have 1% light. Look at that. 1%. We can taste the sun, but only a very tiny bit of it. What do I want? What would be useful right now? Possibly nothing. I mean, I could get a thylakoid because we now have 1% sun. So it could create a very, very small amount of glucose. But it's so small that it's currently being rounded to 0 anyway. So no use in that. Yeah, I might change its colour. I'm going to be orange. There we go. And I will keep going in this new patch again. Oh. And once again, I don't have any iron, I only have glucose, so I can survive, but I can't move at full speed. Someone reminded me to change the chemoreceptor, and I forgot again. Excellent. Please remind me before I go into the editor next time. Yes, let's grab some more ammonia. And head towards the glucose. Oh, these... should be able to catch these ones. Excellent. And I can engulf all of their bits. And now look at that. Lots more stuff. Come here. Stop running away. See, this is why predators don't go after everything they see. Because then they end up going away from where all the real resources are. So I can eat all of this, get some of that. Lovely. These single blobs are just too fast. They don't have much weight. So even though they've got nothing, that guy was trying to chase him. Even though they've got nothing to propel themselves forward with, it balances out. I am faster than this one. Just about. I can make it. There we go. Hey. Right. First thing I'm going to do, changed the sensitivity on the chemoreceptor. So put that up a bit. So now it will only show me decently sized clouds of glucose. Someone said I have enough energy to maintain a nucleus. That's true. It will make me slow, so it will kind of... It will invalidate the super fast predator thing I've got going. But it will allow me to replace these organelles with more efficient ones, like the mitochondria. So maybe I should do that. Because over the next few generations, I should replace these metabolosomes with mitochondria. Because what's that like? Yeah, that's a lot more efficient if you look at the numbers. So yeah, I'll go with that for now. It may slow me down too much to catch anything, but that's a risk I'm willing to take for the entertainment value. Right, that's all I can do because it used up all 100 mutation points. But look at that, I am enormous and really slow. Oh, but it's fine, I found a cloud of glucose anyway. Lots of species around. Wonderful. I'm going to eat that iron chunk. So an advantage with being bigger is you can absorb more or engulf more things. Because there are lots of things that are smaller than you now. Including iron chunks, which should be very helpful for me. I don't like how my spikes are now at an angle. Because they're placed kind of... I can't remember exactly how they're placed, but it's based on how your membrane is drawn, and then they're just attached to the nearest point. But because I've got the nucleus now, my membrane... because I've got the nucleus over this side now, my membrane is being kind of pulled over in this direction, so attaching the spikes here means they're now going off that way. Lots of species around though, that's fun. Can I catch any of them? I do have ginormous spikes. Yes, I can. Look at these ones. These would be camouflaged if we were further down. But no. I'm looking for ammonia. There's some ammonia. That cell had a lot of ammonia in it. Right, I am now going to move up into this patch, which is a bit of a risk because there is no iron here. And half of my metabolism is currently based on iron. So, I think I need to move through this patch quickly and try and evolve as quickly as I can. And then move to probably the coast, because that's, look at that, 3.3% iron. So, I'll remove a couple of these just for... Oh no, I can't. Is this going to be a terrible idea? I feel like this may go very badly. What I may do instead then... see, without the iron, I'm still too far down. Fine. I will speed run this patch. That's my goal. Speed run this patch and move somewhere that has iron. This has started well. There's no compounds at all. Oh no. I still have the stored iron that I had from the last patch, so it's not out of the game yet. But I need to find some phosphate and ammonia before that runs out. Come on. You probably have some phosphate and ammonia in you. Yep, that was some. Excellent. If I kill another one of those, I may have enough. Can I do a pincer movement on this guy? Oh, wonderful. Oh, but he ate it all. Oh, no. Come on. There's lots of things. Oh, my iron went up. That cell must have had some iron in it. I need to just catch one more of these. I'm too slow. This has not worked out. It's fine. I still have a decent amount of iron inside me, so I'm going to survive. Oh no. I'm out of glucose. I'm losing health. This is not fine. I need to catch something. Uh-oh. Someone said I had the mutation points for cool nuclear stuff. I did, but I don't think any of them would have helped, except maybe chloroplasts, actually. That's a point. But I don't want to be a plant. I'm being a predator. Right. Do we have any ammonia or phosphate? That's what I want right now. Add some ammonia. Excellent. Let's go after that. Try and get all of this. Nearly there. Nearly there. Oh god, it's just not quite enough. I can kill this guy though. Excellent. There we go. I have enough ammonia now. It's phosphate I'm after now. There is some. That looks like quite a bit of it. I think we're going to live. I think we're going to live. People are suggesting lots of different changes I can make to the cell. I will make those in a moment once I get this phosphate. Oh, there's less phosphate than I thought. Oh no. Don't tell me I'm going to die again. Come on. Spike. Oh god, no. It's slightly too fast. Come on, Pit. I can outmaneuver him. Somehow. Maybe this one. Hey, and we're good. Just as I ran out of iron. Oh gosh, right. So I'm going to move here, so I can actually use the iron. Right. Someone suggested removing this spike. I think that might be a good idea. I shall replace it with a toxin vacuole. Because this allows me to shoot things at range. So that'll be quite good. I gotta. No, I don't have the mutation points for anything else. But yeah, let's see how the toxin works. Whether that works any better. It does use up ATP to produce a toxin, so you can see that thin sliver of ATP consumption on this bar. But hopefully I should be alright. I'm just, once again, I'm using up iron, but I'm in a patch that has iron now. So we should be alright. We should thrive. I think I'm going to attempt to win the game. And then call it a day. I think, is it 20 generations? It's 20, right? So currently on 15. Oh, keep going. Oh, what's happening? I don't have any iron, is what's happening. There's some here. I'll be fine. Creating lots of toxin, though. That'll be useful in a moment. And yes, I will indeed be swapping the old stuff for the new stuff. But I have to do it incrementally. I could not do it on that occasion. Right, it's E to find the toxin. Pew! 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 Oh, I keep missing him. He's too thin. I can't hit the target. There we go. Oh, I'm big enough to just gobble these ones up now. That's nice. Oh, this is wonderful. It's all coming up Seismosaurus. Crotella conea. I don't think this species is going to survive much longer. But yeah, there we go. I've maxed out all of this storage apart from iron, so yeah. There we go. God, lots of species have lived and died in this patch. Okay, I can't show them all. But yes, look at all these. There's only 50 of me. I did not realise that. But yes, I will now start removing some of these things and replacing them with better stuff. So there we go. That's a mitochondria. I should do some stuff. So 35. I could get some more cytoplasm, not really much point. Yeah, let's keep going. I'm on generation 16, I'm nearly there. I know, my population's up to 1.4k. Wow. I still don't have the energy to move at full speed all the time because I don't have any iron. But at least in this patch I can find iron. God, look at all these. That's quite fun. Yeah, there's some iron around these chunks over here. I'm not big enough to eat these chunks, sadly. Oh, I'm not fast enough to catch him. But yeah, there we go. That's topped off my iron quite a bit. I do need some glucose, though. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have toxins. No. It's annoying you can't have, like, bullets going through these guys. I have to kill them one by one. There we go. Because he ate the one that I killed. That's really not fair. Consume. There we go. I'm on a murderous rampage now. Ah, wonderful. Let's top off the old iron. Look at all of that. All of my compounds are now full. Wonderful. This species is going well. Don't want to move anywhere else. That has more glucose but less iron. Only by a very small amount though. Look at all of those species. Wow. I'm going to move there. Just to cause more chaos. Become another invasive species. Invade somewhere else. Right, let's remove more of these metabolosomes. Replace with a mitochondrion. It's annoying that I can't put it... Oh no, I can. I can put it over the cytoplasm, of course. I still have 35. I do think there needs to be a slight rework of the mutation point costs for these things. Because sometimes you get in a situation like this where, well, I've got 35 mutation points, but there's nothing I want to do with them. But it's very hard to balance that sort of thing, so it's not really a priority. I guess I could add a spike back. Just for the hell of it. There we go. Ah, I like the aesthetics of this biome. It just feels like I'm in sludge. Here are some cells. I can kill them. No, that was quite a lucky shot. That one wasn't. I'm now playing Space Invaders. I have to fire to where he's going to be. Excellent. Oh, you have chosen to die. You just went straight into me. Yeah, okay. We're doing well now. We're doing well. Someone's requested that I check how species are doing in the lower patches. I will do that when I'm back in the editor. I don't need to kill these anymore. I've got full storage, but it's just fun. Nope. Because the more you kill, like, the compounds spill out into the environment, and that attracts more. So it's just like, oh, it's bait, basically. Right, let's look at how my species are doing in some other patches. So, Alaya here. It's still saying I'm only on 50 here. I'm not sure what's going on, because it definitely showed me with more than that before. Weird. Maybe that's a glitch. But yes, let's look at some other patches, if I can get the X button. Oh wait, what? Why was that set to cave? I don't know. But this is how species are doing in the cave. My species isn't in the cave. Which patches am I in? I'm in these ones. So my best patch currently is Pangonian Coast, which was the one I was just in. Not the current one though. So yeah, it's doing decently in a couple of them actually. I moved into this patch and I'm now 392. So it makes even less sense that this is showing 50. I don't know why. If a dev is watching, either please explain or that's a bug. But yes. Generation 18, almost there. I'm going to add another mitochondrion. This is a very asymmetric looking cell. There we go. Hey, I think I've finally... Is it supposed to... What? That's... How does it get that number? 73.079999. Oh, 07999. So... Yeah, weird, but I think I'm on the verge of having enough ATP generation to survive even without iron. So that's very good. Let's keep going. And keep eating things, because it's going well. I'm surviving. Right, and there we go, immediately. Oh, there's toxins. Actually, wait, I wanted to test whether shooting toxins at my own species damaged them. Hold on. No. Okay. Yeah, okay, you cannot kill members of your own species. There we go. Mystery solved. This guy's shooting toxins, but he's dead. Right. Has it fixed me here? It says 266 there. Estuary. 606 previous 50. Was I looking at the wrong one before? Maybe that was it. But now it's 606 and that's not 6. I don't understand. Anyway, what am I on? Generation 19. So I think I will, if once I enter the editor next time and then leave the editor, I will have won the game in its current form, which is cool. I was hoping I would be able to do that before I finished, so let's do that. And let's be honest, it's not going to be hard to evolve right now. Oh. Well, if you want an example of hubris, there you go. Yeah, I have nothing to say to that. One helpful thing about the chemoreceptor here is that in the lighter patches, these compound clouds don't show up very well. So it's even more useful to have the chemoreceptor. Like, I can't see that there's glucose here, but I can see the line that's telling me that there's glucose here. I think in the next version that will be changed. The cloud should be a bit brighter. Yeah, I can't remember whether that was changed already for this version or for the next one. I think it was coming in the next one, as in 0.5.8. Oh, all of these cells, they all have spikes, so I need to be slightly careful. But I can just toxin them from afar. Not that I need the extra stuff. Because I'll enter the editor now. Gonna add another couple of mitochondria. There we go. I'm using up quite a bit of glucose, but it's fine. Because look at that. Powerhouse of the cell or what? Right. And I believe, yes, we have thrived. Alright, I have thrived. I've won. Seismosaurus of Doom is now a viable species. Well, hey. This, as I mentioned in the main video, this win condition is temporary. And it's, going to be changed as you do more stuff. As the devs add more stuff later in the game. Why am I using my spike? Just toxin him to death. There we go. Actually, maybe I should end this video by adding binding agents so that I can symbolically finish the game rather than just mechanically. So I will do that. Where are they? Binding agents. There we go. A big green blob. And now I can stick to other members of my species to form a colony. Yay! Let's do that. So I'm going to... What's the button? It's B. Immediately stick to this one that just split off from me. Or I just split off from, rather. If I can stick to him. There we go. See? Now I'm 2 cells. Well, hey. Yeah. Maybe I'll get a couple more cells involved. See, colonies are a bit broken right now because you'll notice as I spin, there's really nothing to stop that guy around me just going crazy. Oops. Also, that happens. I'm now cannibalizing the remains of my something that was once part of me. Let's not think about that. So yeah, let's eat all of this. Try to survive some more. Kill this guy because he's in my way. Yeah, I've done about all that I wanted to do in this game, so I don't think I'll be going for too much longer. If anyone has any more particular burning questions about Thrive, anything, then let me know now. Look at all these colourful cells. Isn't that beautiful? There we go. Why am I doing this? I have full compound storage on everything but iron. And nobody has any iron. Oh, there's some iron chunks. I should stick around those and fill up my iron quite a bit. Zoom. Zoom, eat the iron. I wonder how it tastes. Yeah, I think this cell was a good one. I remember there was a playthrough, or actually, where I had a cell that was quite similar to this one, and I think I spoke about it in the video. But all of a sudden, other species developed toxin launchers, and like this cell became completely ineffective. So, like, the game can change, the environment can change, it can spin around quite quickly, and you have to be reactive. Someone's asked, is there a meta playstyle yet? I think the general consensus is that getting photosynthesis is the OP strategy, closely followed by being a predator, like I am. Maybe other things, I'm not entirely sure. Someone asks, are developers in large demand right now? They are always in large demand because Thrive is open source and it only survives on the generosity of people who come along and help develop it. But of course, you know, the team is very much values people's free time, and it's always about like creating something that people want to work on because it's fun and they like both, I guess, the community aspect of working with the team and also just the idea of developing Thrive as it continues. So yeah, developers are in demand, but obviously I'm not going to force anyone. I'm just going to very strongly encourage people to go along and apply. The game is built in the Godot game engine, which itself is open source, and it uses C# primarily. So C# programmers, very in demand. But the launcher, which is what starts up when you actually start the game, is an Electron app that uses JavaScript. I'm pretty sure. I think. So I mean, it's on GitHub, so you can see what languages it uses. So those, if you have experience with other languages, then that's still useful. And also, if you have experience with any language, then you can write prototypes for things. That's always helpful. There's a prototypes repository on GitHub as well. One of which was mine, but then someone rewrote it in a different language and replaced it. Someone asks, can you eat these iron blobs? You can, but I'm not currently big enough to do it. I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can. Because I can eat the small ones currently. What was I saying? But yeah, so program is obviously in biggest demand because that's how the game actually moves forward, really. But there's lots of other things that would be useful to have. So artists are very helpful, like especially if you can do 3D modeling. So you see all of these. I'm going to pause the game so I can point at things. All of these organelles have particular models, and as more organelles get added, they will need more models created for them. So I know in particular the chemoreceptor is currently a placeholder model, really, waiting for someone to come along and make a better one. So yeah, artists are quite in demand. Outreach people also quite helpful because the team is currently quite not really utilizing the outreach channels, like the social media stuff, as much as it could do. I mean, I'm saying this, and I'm somewhat part of the team and could help with that regard. But I have lots of other real-life commitments as well, and also this YouTube stuff. So I may not be able to do that. But yeah, outreach is this thing. Community management is quite important for dealing with community forums and the Discord. Need a few more Discord mods, the team probably. But yeah, if you think you have something useful you can do, head on over to the website. There should be links on the Get Involved page to the application form or to the GitHub repo if you want to submit a pull request, because you can also do that as opposed to officially joining a team. But you do need to sign the contributor license agreement in order to have anything you create actually be used in the game. That's something new that was brought in order to allow the game to appear on Steam. So that's quite important. But apart from that, there's no real commitment. Like, you can join and disappear. Quite a few people do. Or you can join and stick around, and that would be very appreciated. Because the team is very nice, very friendly. It's nice having this game design discussions with people and being able to give your opinion on these things. One other thing that would be helpful that I haven't mentioned is testing. Quite often there are new features that are added that need testing quite quickly. So it's useful to have people around who are just available on call to do that kind of testing. But it's, you need to be able to test different use cases and things. So it's not just a matter of playing the game. You need to be quite analytical about it. But yeah, that's all the information I can provide about joining the development team. Have there been any more questions in the time I've been speaking? Do you know if this section of the game, Microbe, is almost complete? It's all... I mean, I would say the foundation is there, definitely. Like, this game loop is not going to change, really. And everything that's in here is probably going to be in here for the rest of its existence. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen this many cells on screen at the same time. That's incredible. But there's lots of other features that could be added, and I mentioned some of them in the main video. So, what was it? currents are one that I've been looking forward to for a long time. So you see how the the compounds are kind of moving around as if they're floating in water. The hope is to kind of translate that onto cells movements as well. So if you're not fast enough to kind of fight against the currents, you'll just be pulled along by them, and that can perhaps make plant gameplay a lot more viable, because you can just sit still and waft along in the currents. That could be quite fun. So that's currents, that's one thing. Organelle upgrades and things you saw in the editor, I was able to modify the chemoreceptor to do things. The hope is to be able to modify other organelles to upgrade them or change some of their properties. Lots of other organelles to add. I'm going to head to the editor and show you that. So all the ones that are here but currently greyed out, apart from these two which I've already used and you can only have one of. They will be added at some point. So cilia should hopefully help with turning, I think, is the main one, but that probably needs an overhaul of how turning works before that happens, because you currently turn instantly. So the hope is that eventually a base cell would turn a bit more slowly, and then you'd add cilia to be able to turn quicker, and that could be very helpful. As I said, the thermoplast would be like a chloroplast, but for heat. Bioluminescent vacuole, that's an interesting one. The aim is to add day-night cycles later, partly because that would give the photosynthesizers something to worry about, because otherwise they could just sit there and create glucose forever. Whereas if night comes along, they won't have sun, obviously, so they will have to rely on the compounds they have stored. So that adds an extra dimension to that. But the existence of night then means that it would be quite useful to have some lights on your cell, or bioluminescence, so you could see in the dark. So that's what that one would do. And there's lots of other things that could be added here as well. I mean, there's lots of real-life ones that could be added, but like the thermoplast, there could be stuff that's non-Lorc, or non-life as we know it, as well, that's just maybe stretching the boundaries slightly, like something that's maybe not physically impossible, but we've just never observed it in nature. So that's something to consider. So yeah, should be lots more options for organelles. Probably lots more options across the board in the editor, really, in future. So yeah, there was that. There was currents. I'm going to go back to the world, so it's more interesting. I talked about dynamic planet generation at one point. So that was like, you could... I'm unsure whether the plan is to have one that you can edit yourself at the start, or whether it's random. But you could like edit the physical conditions of your planets at the start of the game. That could be quite cool. Add some more replayability. One thing that is considered is endosymbiosis, which is where the theory that mitochondria evolved after one cell ate another, and the cell just kept living in it. I was about to engulf that one to show you. But like currently, if you engulf anything, it just dies. But the hope is that at some point you'll be able to engulf something and it should unlock a new organelle for you or something. It's not entirely clear what the plan is for that. But that's a thing that can be added. There's natural disasters and extinction events can be added. There's lots of lots more features that can still be added to the microbe stage alone to flesh it out quite a bit. And as you can see, I can see this, I don't know whether you're aware, but the game is starting to struggle with frame rates a little bit. So there's certainly a lot more optimization that can be done, for one thing. But I mean, currently, the programming work is Herolainen working on it part-time as a result of the Patreon and Steam release. And a few other programmers kind of chipping in a little. Hold on, I'm going to bind to all of these people. There we go. So it's really, at the moment, new features are really dependent on what Herolainen is able to work on and what other people are able to work on. Look at this gigantic colony I'm building. Whee! Come on, stick. I can't quite give myself... There we go. That's a colony. But if either we get more programmers or there's an increase in the Patreon funding or Steam sales, then that will create more opportunity for new features to be added, because there'll be either more programmers or the existing programmers will have more time to dedicate to Thrive. Jump, jump, jump. Yeah, this is very broken right now, but quite fun. And I can press U to unbind. There we go. And they can all go and do their own thing. But yeah, so the microbe stage as it exists is good, but it's definitely still scope to be better. But as of about a month ago, Hirolainen has started work on the multicellular editor. So I think what's going to happen is that development will branch out a little bit into multicellular stage, even if most people are still focusing on the microbe stage. So I guess I will start with prototypes and some refactoring. Most of the refactoring in the editor has already happened now, which is excellent. Right, that was quite a long answer to the question. Any other questions? Can you make a colony that's able to eat these big iron chunks? I'm pretty sure no, because the size is still only dependent on how big an individual cell is. Is it possible to domesticate a species? Not properly, but I mean, you can try. Like, I guess there's nothing to stop you. It would be quite difficult, but you could build a ring of cells that you bind to. If I can manage it. No, I can't. But you could build like a big ring, and then if you manage it just right, you could kind of trap some other species in the middle, and you've got yourself a farm. There you go, domesticated cells. You can do it. It's just really hard. But yes, I am going to stop in a few minutes, I think, because I need to go to bed. So I'll just wait in case anyone has any more particular questions. But in the meantime, I shall once again plug. The game is free, or you can get it on Steam. And buying it on Steam directly supports development, because the money goes towards part-time pay for the main programmer, or main programmers, hopefully, if we get more. I'm not trying to diminish the contributions of the existing programmers, other than Hirolainen. It's just that, yeah, at the moment there's only enough funds for one person to work part-time on it. That being Hirolainen, who is the head of the association, because Revolutionary Games is officially a Finnish company, which is quite weird. Yes, go get the game, spread the word about the game, spread the word by posting my video everywhere. That would be quite nice. And if you can, go and join the team. It's a very fun environment to work with. It's a very welcoming team. I can attest to this. People are very nice. And you get to contribute and help make this cool game that I've just spent a few hours playing. And I will admit, like, there's not much more to do in the game. Like, you can try different strategies with different organelle builds. And you can go to different places, but fundamentally, I guess I have done all that you can do in the game right now. But it's still fun to do it for a couple of hours and watch the environment turn into this, where you've got a load of different cells around and watch them all interact with each other. That's very cool. But yes. One more person. A few more questions, actually. How long has it actually taken to get to this stage of development? You will have to watch the main video I made the other day, so that's on my channel a couple of days ago. That goes into the history in a lot more detail. So technically, Thrive as a game being developed has existed since 2010. But saying it so without the context that it's gone through several generations of developers since then is a bit disingenuous. Someone asks, am I on the team? Yes, I've made most of the music in the game. I also did some other things throughout the years. But I don't contribute much anymore, mainly because I don't have the time, and there's not really much of a demand for music at the moment, because that's probably one of the easiest things to complete for a stage. Like, the micro-stage soundtrack has been complete for ages. And it's one of the only parts of the game where development has moved on to other stages, because there's just, you know, it's very separate from the rest, I guess. One more question. Can other species evolve in nucleus? I believe they can, although it's quite rare. I've not seen it much. If they split off from you, then yeah, they might do, I think. Because a nucleus is a big energy investment, and it doesn't really gain you a lot immediately. It's more of an investment for other organelles you can get later. But yeah, so it's going to be difficult to incentivize the AI to do that, to just add this big blob that doesn't actually give you much of an advantage straight away, but leads to more advantage down the line. There may be something about that. But anyway, I am going to leave it there, I think. So, thank you very much, everyone, for coming along and watching me stream Thrive and promote Thrive. Go play Thrive, buy Thrive, join Thrive, do everything. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't know whether I'll be doing another live stream at any point soon. I should say, the reason I've done this and the Thrive video now is because the next few months are likely to be very busy for me. So I'm unlikely to have any other videos out on my channel until June, I guess. So enjoy what you have for now. Anyway, I will see you all later. Goodbye.